pollution related issues for the population of Delhi and NCR. Key sources of air pollution in Delhi. There are five key sources of pollution. First is vehicles. Grossly polluting vehicles like trucks and diesel vehicles, as well as growing numbers that negates the impact of cleaner fuel and emission technology. Combustion in power plants and industries using dirty fuels like petcoke, coal, biomass. Third is garbage burning, both in landfills and other places where there is no collection, processing, or disposal. Fourth is dust management on roads, construction sites, etc., which adds to the particulate pollution. Crop residue burning because farmers do not have alternative for use of straw. Analysis of various sources of pollution. First, the prime suspect, crop stubble burning in Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh. Just before the onset of winters, paddy is harvested in these states. Paddy, when harvested by hand, is cut close to the ground. However, decreasing labor supply, increasing wages, and factors like subsidies have led to higher mechanization level and harvester sales. Combined harvesters leave more crop residue. There are better machines, but their usage is low. At second, adding to the problem, Punjab Preservation of Subsoil Water Act was passed in 2009. According to this act, farmers can no longer sow rice in April but have to wait until the middle of June, the notified dates to do so. Haryana too has followed Punjab and passed a similar law. So, the paddy sowing and harvesting cycle have been artificially shifted by about 2 months. Since 2009, farmers have only 15 days to ready their land for wheat sowing. Next is higher crop residue due to mechanization and government policy to allow sowing of rice only after middle of June together have become lethal combination for Delhi's air. With just 15 days to prepare their farms, the farmers are forced to burn the crop residues. Then the wind pattern. Most of the time, wind in Delhi is from northwest and sometimes from west. Wind mass as it travels over Punjab, Haryana, and parts of Rajasthan before entering in Delhi may pick up the pollutants on the way, especially from large sources. Example, crop residue burning and tall emitting sources. The stubble burning during winter is one of the chief causes for rising air pollution levels in Delhi. However, it is largely a temporary spike. Based on TERI and ARAI Source Apportionment Study 2018, the sources of pollutants over the entire winter season and specifically during the days when agricultural burning is prominent are shown below. First is vehicular emissions. The number of registered vehicles in Delhi was nearly 11 million in 2018. The 66% of these two-wheeler that are known as major air polluters due to poor emission standards. Also, more than 3.6 million vehicles are more than 10 years old, with older emission norms and pollution controls. TERI's study shows that vehicle pollution causes 28% of PM 2.5 emission in Delhi NCR. Amongst the sources within Delhi, The share of the transport sector is significant, 39% in PM 2.5 emission. A source inventory and source apportionment study by IIT Kanpur in 2015 has observed that vehicles are the most consistent and dominant source of pollution throughout the year, while most other sources are variable. Industry, with as many as 3182 industries located across the Delhi NCR, industrial pollution adds about 18.6% to the bad air quality. As per TERI study, industries contribute 30% to PM 2.5 levels, with 14% from small industries. Dust. IIT Kanpur study reveals contribution of soil and road dust towards PM10 as 14.4% during winters and 26.5% during summers. Similarly, for PM 2.5, it is for 4.3% during winters and 27.1% during summers. Dust mostly comes from construction sites as well as the wind-blown dust from western desert regions. Municipal solid waste. Approx 8370 tons of municipal solid waste is generated in Delhi every day, and on an average 3 to 40 tons per day is being incinerated in quantity solid waste treatment plants. Both thermal power station and waste management plants are some of other highly emitted zones, contributing to 3.9% of the pollution load. Brick kilns. Outskirts of Delhi have roughly 360 brick kilns, majorly scattered in Jhajjar, Faridabad and Ghaziabad region. Since their peak season month starts from December to June, the emission from these brick kilns also rise during the winter months. Overall, based on 5 emission inventory studies, CPCB 2010, IIT Kanpur 2015, TERI 2018, SAFAR 2018, Guttikunda 2018 on Delhi NCR, transport sector is the largest emitter of PM 2.5 particles, 17.9% to 39.2%, and road dust is the largest contributor of PM10 particles, 35.6% to 65.9%. Reasons for limited success of pollution control actions. An efficient governance mechanism is central to the success of any anti-pollution effort. Unfortunately, the Graded Response Action Plan notified by EPCA is being implemented by at least 16 different agencies. Some are under the control of union government, some under the Delhi government, and some are under the administrative control of neighboring states. In general, there are no political and executive level coordination among them. Delhi's air pollution is a regional problem. A study conducted by International Institute of Applied System Analysis and NIRI showed that about 60% of PM 2.5 burden in Delhi is due to the neighboring states. No policy is likely to work unless it takes regional consideration into account. Interagency efforts need to be controlled and coordinated by a central source. Delhi needs to search for sources of emissions. During the past decade, there have been 16 source apportionment studies. While sources of emission remain same in all studies, the contribution from different sources of Delhi pollution varies greatly. This only underscores both the unreliability of existing studies as well as difficulty in making accurate estimates, which is partly due to Delhi's complex meteorology and changing nature of sources of emission, both in space and time. Finally, Delhi lacks infrastructure. It has only half the buses it needs for public transport. This means that private automobile use continues to grow, adding to the air pollution problem. The Delhi Pollution Control Committee, which has a mandate to enforce compliance with the air pollution rules in the city, suffers from a serious scientific and technical manpower shortage. Operating at about 3/4 since 1990, these gaps in public infrastructure undermine the public confidence in cities' ability to address the worsening air pollution problem. Assessment of odd even scheme. Delhi government has implemented the odd even scheme to tackle the air pollution in the city. However, recently Supreme Court questioned the utility of this policy in controlling the pollution levels and asked for relevant data on its impact on pollution control. The odd even policy seeks to reduce pollution levels by halving vehicles uses on Delhi roads. Even though it's targeting the biggest source of PM 2.5, is it doing this effectively? Different studies delivered different verdicts on odd even implemented previously. Journal or study by results. Journal by Environmental Science and Policy. Result: in three pockets of Delhi, PM 2.5 level fell by 8 to 10%, but in other parts it decreased only by 2 to 3%. Restricting traffic volume alone cannot control the PM 2.5 concentration over Delhi. Second, Central Pollution Control Board or even scheme may have reduced pollution, but a single factor or action cannot substantially reduce the air pollution levels in Delhi. Current science result: odd even actually increased traffic emissions. This was because more commuters traveled before odd even kicked in, or commuters shifted to other form of transport such as motorbikes and three-wheelers. NCAER India Policy Forum 2017 PM 2.5 levels were lower by 13 to 16% on average during the day in January 2016. Odd even scheme, but no impact was detected at night or when the scheme was repeated in April 2016. Though studies differ in their verdicts of odd even, they are unanimous in their overall conclusion. Delhi needs a longer term holistic approach to tackling air pollution. Delhi can learn from Beijing to tackle the air pollution menace. China's success story. In order to address the pollution crisis in Beijing, the Chinese government has adopted the approach of unified planning, unified monitoring and alerting, and unified standards in multiple contiguous regions. In 2017, a combined work plan was adopted for Beijing, Tianjin, etc., that demonstrated 2 plus 26 cities to decrease average PM 2.5 concentration and the number of heavy pollution days by more than 15% from the previous year. For combined monitoring and inspection system, Beijing Environmental Protection Inspection Team is responsible for 15 provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities contiguous to Beijing. Conclusion: to improve air quality, we need to design effective emissions inventories and in turn harmonize the inventories. To create better emissions inventories, we need to improve data transparency, quantify uncertainties, develop multiple year inventories, common guidelines, and reconcile various methodologies. Box steps taken to tackle the air pollution in Delhi. Environmental Pollution Prevention and Control Authority EPCA enforces Graded Response Action Plan (GRAP), which comprises the graded measures for each source framed according to air quality index categories. Next, National Clean Air Program is pollution control initiative to cut the concentration of particles PM10 and PM2.5 by 20 to 30% by 2024. It is a nationwide program including Delhi. Third, advancing Bharat Stage 6 norms to April 2018 from April 2020. Delhi became first city running on